Hey Alex, this is AJ here. Here is that video and website audit I said I would do for you guys. To start out with, I just wanted to kind of show you your list of top keywords for your industry. It's important to start here, that way we can have a baseline to compare everything to. And so obviously commercial cleaning services is the top. This number here represents searches per month in Canada. So these numbers are kind of arbitrary. I mean, they're not going to be an exact science, but it does give us an indication of which term is more searched than another. And so I chose Calgary to start out with. And so when we search commercial cleaning services Calgary, these kind of guys are the top. And then you'll notice too, a few of these guys are kind of national type companies, and that'd be JanPro, Vanguard, Stratus. And then you'll look further and you'll notice that the site or their page that's ranking for Calgary services is actually the location page, and location page. So this is important to note because this is kind of the realm that you guys are falling in. And on top of that, companies like JanPro have map listings, their Google business profiles set up in multiple locations. So this is JanPro Calgary, this is JanPro Saskatoon, this is JanPro Winnipeg. However, when we search green and gold cleaning Calgary, your Kelowna map listing comes up. And so I think that this should be kind of brought to the top of the priority list. I feel like Google might be confusing. Having a map listing in Kelowna, even though you service locations outside of Kelowna, is probably confusing Google to know which location they should bring up your website for, because this is kind of conflicting information. And so each of the service locations that you do have, I would work hard to get an address and get a new map listing. So you're going to need a new address and a new phone number for each location. And then coming here, your homepage, as we kind of discussed, I think, aesthetically, it's pleasing enough. I think, the person that built it did a relatively good job. One thing that kind of caught my attention here, which confused me for a second, was I thought this was a different currency. And then I realized it means per hour. So maybe, I don't know, it kind of confused me for a second. I thought maybe it's Filipino pesos. So you might want to look at maybe changing that to an HR instead of a PH. And then another thing would be, looking at your list of services, I feel like this can be built out more, and kind of looking into your competitors' sites. Like this guy has a huge list of stuff. So I would recommend going into, your top competitors and seeing what services they offer, and do you offer those services? If you do, load them up onto your site. There's no reason why you can't build this part of your content up. The more depth you can have to your site, the better. So when we look at kind of how many pages each of these sites have, so JanPro, it's kind of an outlier, obviously, because it's a franchise, and so the site is really large. So they have 635 pages. The next kind of two that are more specific to Calgary, this guy has 71 pages. This guy's got 64 pages. You guys are pretty close. You're within that. But obviously, when you're trying to outrank all these people, you want to do what the others are doing, but do more of it. And so I think expanding your services, even if you can get a few more pages out of that, that's a good place to start. And so we're coming back to, the location pages, right? And so when we look at your location page, specifically for Calgary, this is going up against this, right? So this is a Calgary specific website. This is also a Calgary specific website, but your inner page is going up against this. So I think it's pretty easy to say that, your inner page doesn't really stand a chance against this. And then, GenPro, it's not the prettiest, but still it's fairly built out compared to yours. And so I would recommend building out each of the location pages you have as if it was a home page. And we kind of touched on this in our meeting. So, we're coming back to this page. I would try and make your Calgary page and your Kamloops page and your Kelowna page very similar to the quantity of content on it as this. And then there comes time to look at kind of the keywords on your pages. And so, this is your top keyword, commercial cleaning services, and this is your home page, and it's one time. Okay, I mean, I don't think that's enough, but it's on there, so it's good. But in your Calgary page, your top search term isn't on the page once. So you don't really have a chance of coming up for your top term because they don't even know, Google doesn't even know that that's what you do. And when we look at other Calgary specific pages, I mean, these guys have it once, which I think, could be more, but they're obviously ranked. So these guys also have it once, and these guys have it twice. So I would recommend twice on this page, but obviously with, substantially more content. And then we kind of fall into the backlink side of things. I know you guys said that your guy who's doing the maintenance and the ads, that he maybe was doing backlinks, but I don't think that that's the case. We'll start with yours. So this is kind of a list of your backlinks, and the numbers you want to look at are the trust flow numbers. So that's the TF here. What that represents is the amount of trust that Google places in those links coming to your page. And so the lower this number, the less trust that Google has that that's a valuable backlink. And so when we're looking at, the links that you do have, most of them, pretty much all of them, are close to worthless. Obviously, this is a direct reflection of that. Zero trust flow, that's as low as you can get. And when we compare, these guys' backlinks, they're a little bit higher, but they do have a couple really good links in here. And then same with these guys, picture perfect. They're doing much better. And again, look at the trust flow of the links that these guys have. This is kind of what you're aiming to get. And with GenPro, actually, the Calgary location. So these guys kind of have an unfair advantage with that, with them being a franchise, the main franchise's website linked to them. So this is like a really powerful link, and it'd be tough to get, something that powerful. But I mean, this is what you're up against. So those are my few thoughts. Obviously, I have backlinking strategies, I have kind of content strategies, and I think, those are the two major plays here for you guys, is building up content, building up services, adding to your blogs, and getting those backlinks that are going to start moving you up the ranks. This is obviously specific to Calgary, but everything holds true for the other locations. Maybe they're a little bit easier to rank for than Calgary because, it's a bigger city. So, but all the same practices hold true. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to dig deeper into anything you guys don't understand. But yeah, let's connect soon.